to be. Good morning. Welcome to Bay Area Unitarian Universalist Church. I'm Reverend Katie McQuage-Loukas, and my pronouns are she and hers. Happy Labor Day weekend. Whenever it's a holiday weekend, I feel like those of us who are here, we get some extra points, some gold stars. Right. Exactly. For me, the real Labor Day is May 1st, but I'll take 2. And as always, my serious labor preaching will come around in May, but nevertheless, this weekend we honor the work that keeps our world turning. The work of our daily lives, the work of our shared common life together, the labors of love, labors of need. All this work is valuable and necessary. All of our work is good and worthy of our attention. And the work that is not worthy of our attention, may we continue to pare it down little by little until the work that remains is work that fills our lives with meaning. Whoever you are, whomever you love, however you have arrived here today in body, in mind, in spirit, whether you're here in person, whether you're joining us online, wherever you are in your spiritual journey, you are welcome here. If this is your first time, you are welcome here. If this is your 500th time, you are welcome here. We are glad that you are here, and we are glad to be here together. My opening words are by Megan Visser. We enter this sanctuary for kindness and comfort. May rough, worn hands and aching backs be healed. We enter this sanctuary of hope for equality. May those who labor to survive live to know justice. We enter this sanctuary of love and vocation. May our bonds of solidarity be strengthened. We enter this sanctuary of courage and friendship. May we proceed hand in hand toward freedom. Come and let us worship together.
Good morning. Raj Kalia will light our chalice this morning. We gather this hour as people of faith with joys and sorrows, gifts and needs. We light this beacon of hope, sign of our quest for truth and meaning in celebration of the life we share together. Will you please rise now as you're willing and able and join in singing our first hymn, number 347, Gather the Spirit.
Separate from
These words are by Lisa Ward. A covenant is not the definition of a relationship. It is the framework for our relating. A covenant leaves room for chance and change, unlike a creed, which is static. A covenant claims, I will abide with you in this common endeavor, be present as best I can in our growth together. The task of a covenant is to take responsibility for the freedom we say we believe in. We know that we are interconnected and that what we do creates ripples of hope or despair, of affirmation or negation. What we do with and for one another is powerful and beyond our imagining. This calls for a level of trust, courage, and sacrifice that needs to be nurtured, renewed, and affirmed on a regular basis. Will you please join with me now in affirming our covenant? Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest of truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge and freedom, to serve humanity in fellowship, thus do we covenant with one another.
Our responsive reading this morning is number 532 in the gray hymnal, number 532 in the back of the gray hymnal. It is the Music of the Spheres by Ernesto Cardenal, number 532. Please join in with me on the italicized text. The music of the spheres, a harmonious universe like a harp. Its rhythms are the equal repeated seasons, the beating of the heart. Day, night, the going and returning of migratory birds, the cycles of stars and corn, the mimosa that unfolds by day and folds up again by night. Rhythms of moon and tide, one single rhythm in planets, atoms, sea, and apples that ripen and fall, and in the mind of Newton. Melody, accord, arpeggios, the harp of the universe, unity behind apparent multiplicity. That is the music.
morning. My name is Gloria Miller, and I am the Director of Religious Education here at Bay Area Unitarian Universalist Church. Our time for all ages today is a picture book entitled Long Night Moon by Cynthia Ryland. Long ago, Native Americans gave names to the full moons. They watched throughout the year as each month had a moon, and each moon had its name. In January, the stormy moon shines in mist, in ice, on a wild wolf's back. Find it and find your way home. In February, a snow moon glows white, sharp, in a cool, crackling breath. It will miss the sister, the sun. In March, a sap moon rises over melting ponds, sleepy bears, small green trees. It tells a promise, a hope. In April, the sprouting grass moon brings all wanderers back home. Baby birds love this moon. It lights their tiny heads. In May, a flower moon blooms, wide, open, bright, happy to be here. It is a smiling moon. It is a song. In June, the strawberry moon shimmers on succulent buds, on crisp new shoots, on quiet, grateful rabbits. There is in the dark a moonlight meal. In July, the thunder moon trembles, shudders, and disappears in a thick black sky. It listens to the clouds beat their drums. In August, a harvest moon grows round and full like a big ripe melon, blessing the calm fields of hay. In September, a coon moon watches for shining eyes and busy feet and little brown noses in the air. It loves the small night creatures. It shows them a better path. In October, the acorn moon comes, strong, yellow, the biggest moon of the year. Leaves are falling and birds are flying. This moon says goodbye. In November, a frosty moon holds a hard ground, empty trees, and the wind in lonely places. It shivers with the shining stars. It thinks it might just sleep. And in December, the long night moon waits and waits and waits for morning. This is the faithful moon. This one is your friend. Our keeper of the flame today is Jace. And after the keeper of the flame, we're going to recess the children to class today to prepare for Sunday after the service. Jace, will you join me?
Our red candle of community reminds us that we are part of a greater whole. We are a community here, those of us present today in this space. Our community includes those who are not present today, but are present in other times and in other ways. And it includes the community beyond our walls, the larger ecosystem of which we are a part. Our white candle reminds us that the world beyond our walls is a shattered one, with conflicts raging openly throughout the world. As we light this candle, we commit ourselves to building a world where all are free to flourish, free from fear, free from danger, free to build the better world we dream about. We renew our commitment to joining in solidarity with all those around the globe who seek to build a more just and more peaceful world. We will now light candles of our own for all the things that we have brought with us into this place today. Whatever you've brought in the door with you, be it a joy or a sorrow, a hope or a worry, or all of these things at once, know that it is welcome here because it is part of you. And I invite you to bring it forward and light a candle that we might share in it with you. Whatever you have brought, you are not alone. We witness it and we witness you. If you would like a candle brought to you, please raise your hand. Come forward as you are moved. All these little pieces of who we are joined together. I now invite you to join with me in prayer, however is comfortable for you. Infinite mystery at the heart of all things. This day we acknowledge the labor that keeps our lives in motion. The labor of the people who built our homes and buildings, the labor of the people who made our clothes, the labor of the people who farm that we might eat, the labor of those who transport all those goods and foods, the labor of those who tend our bodies and of those who tend our minds and hearts, the labor of all workers, the labor of caregivers, the labor of healers and fighters, dreamers and visionaries. We honor labor that is paid, underpaid, and not paid at all. We honor the labor that is visible and that which goes unobserved. We honor the labor that is an act of love and service, and we honor the labor that is just work that pays the bills. Visible or not, paid or not, honored or not, today we are grateful for all the work that has supported our lives, that has given our lives meaning. And we commit ourselves anew to a world where all labor is valued. We commit ourselves anew to a world where all labor is meaningful. May it be so, and amen. Our prayer and song today is number 16, "'Tis a Gift to Be Simple." Please remain seated.
The reading this morning is by Joan Chittister, The Liturgical Year. Life is made up of the turning of the years. We watch our lives go by, a phase, a stage, a year at a time, and we mark the meaning of the year by the way we feel as we spend it. We talk about the kind of year it's been, as if one year could possibly repeat another, as if all the parts of the year were cut from the same fabric, all its days derived from the same root or developed in the same ways. Instead, every year is a distinct growth point in life. Each year brings something unique to us and calls for something different from us. The years of our lives come in more flavors than any single year can possibly encompass. There are, in fact, a good many kinds of years by which we shape our work, our family life, our very selves. To fail to distinguish one kind of year from another is to risk skewing the way we look at life. The way we define our years determines what we think our lives are meant to be about and how we will live because of it. There are fiscal years and school years, planting periods and harvesting periods, calendar years and business years. There are years to mark every stage of life: childhood, adolescence, adulthood, middle age, and old age. and all of those periods are unlike the periods before it. The question is, what kind of year means the most to us spiritually? What in the spiritual life is there to enable us to live all of the other years well, to their fullness, to the elastic limits of our growing souls?
We human beings are meaning-making creatures. It's what we do. We seek out patterns in the world around us, or we create those patterns if there weren't some before. And we assign meanings to those patterns in ways that help us make sense of the universe. We see the moon wax and wane, we see the changing of the seasons, and we extrapolate meaning, and then we turn around and assign more meaning to the patterns we find. We add layers as we go. A lot of our intuitive understanding of time works this way. We experience cycles of years and months and arrange our lives accordingly. And historically, most of the world has understood time this way as cyclical. Differences as we grow and change, but essentially the same movements of large and small circles. Most calendars have at their base some remnants of these cycles. Certainly our calendar is solar. Our months are no longer aligned with the moon, but historically they were. We have combined lunar and solar calendars in so many different ways throughout history, as human beings trying to navigate our world by these visible markers of change. And that's what time really is. Time is how we measure change. The other way we understand time seems like the most ordinary thing in the world. The past is behind us, the future is in front of us. We are at a point on an arc, a line that moves in one direction. Stories have a beginning, a middle, and an end. But even as we mentally hold this idea of time as a straight line, one way that we experience it, we also hold the cycles as the other way we simultaneously experience it. It's a both and. We've spent a little time as a community this year observing the pagan calendar, and we're going to lean into that a little bit more in the year ahead, since we do have such a vibrant CUPS group. For those of you who might be new, CUPS is the Covenant of Unitarian Universalist Pagans, and we have a thriving pagan community, so that calendar is rising in importance. It's one of the layers being added on to our community life. The solstice and equinox services and the quarter days that land in between those, they're not universal because obviously different peoples in different regions have understood seasons in different ways. But they serve as moments to mark the movement of the earth and celestial bodies, markers of our awareness of time. These moments and the celebrations we choose to honor them orient us in a particular place, a particular community, and a particular moment. They affirm our relationship with land and time and our relationship with each other. We also live our lives by civic calendars, the new year somewhat randomly marked, fiscal years assigned by workplaces or the state and that kind of thing, and those too tell us who we are and orient us in place and community. They offer national identity, occupational or vocational identity. The fabulous part of Unitarian Universalism, and I do mean the part that is a fable, is that we create our stories and make meaning from them ourselves. We choose what is significant to us and craft our narrative. We have roots in multiple systems of meaning, but what we do with it is ours. Behind the natural rhythms of the world, the calendars and cycles tell a story. Stories about who we are, stories about who we are becoming, and stories about what we value. The religious traditions that have stories not directly grounded in the natural world have other cycles embedded in their calendars. We probably have the most cultural familiarity with the Christian calendar. It's woven into American life. It's woven into the civil calendar of the United States, or at least Christmas is, and depending on where you are in the country, Easter might also be part of the civic calendar. If you were not raised Christian, you might believe that Christmas is the high point, the climax of the Christian calendar. But the Christian calendar is actually telling a story, and Christmas is not, in fact, the big climactic event. Easter is. The calendar begins on the first Sunday of Advent and moves through that period of waiting and preparation, and it celebrates the birth, and then it settles in for the ordinary work of the church. It moves through saints and parables until Lent comes along, another round of preparation for the real big event that's now coming, Easter. And the liturgical calendar stays in Easter mode for a long time, for days and days, until Pentecost and the descent of the Holy Spirit and Trinity Sunday. And then it returns again to ordinary time, to saints and parables for a longer while before Advent begins it all again. And so the Christian calendar moves through waiting and wonder to big moment of revelation, to integration, and back again. It becomes a spiraling path, revisiting the central story of its faith again and again, accompanying Jesus, striving to emulate Jesus. And by following the path over and over again, one has new opportunities to incorporate it or to grow into it or to deepen one's roots in the faith. Those Christian traditions that celebrate communion are doing the miniature version of that every single Sunday, telling the same story. Moments unique to a particular denomination will also deepen roots in the community, particular saints, Reformation Day, homecoming services. The calendar tells the community who it is and what matters. The Jewish liturgical cycle is not necessarily as integrated into American cultural life, but it has patterns we recognize since the Christian calendar is related to it. It moves through periods of atonement and cleansing, celebration of the revelation of the Torah, and celebrations of the movement toward liberation. The weekly Sabbath honors the cycles of creation and revelation every week, and the full year becomes the story of the Jewish people's relationship with the divine, one that changes over time as revelation continues to unfold. I'll admit that the calendars of other faith traditions are a little outside of my wheelhouse, and many of them don't have one calendar and one story. But I do know that the Buddhist cycles of commemoration of events in the life of the Buddha can serve similar purposes of accompanying a great teacher on a journey, returning practitioners again and again to key moments to experience them anew. What is the story of Unitarian Universalism that we tell through our celebrations? For one thing, we do draw from multiple traditions, so many of the things that I've mentioned are already present, layered on top of each other. And we're going to tell the stories that matter to individual communities. Every congregation is going to have its own weighted balance of what is celebrated and what matters, creating distinct cultures in each congregation. Each congregation is going to celebrate its own anniversaries, affirming from year to year, this is who we are. But what do we do that is distinctively part of the larger tradition? Not every congregation holds water and flower communions, but those two rituals are uniquely ours, distinctively ours, and I think it's worth talking about them as singular events, but also as the map of the year. The water communion gathers us and joins us into one. It's fairly straightforward. It's a total mixing. We bring what we have, we pour it into one communal bowl. In its purest form, it might symbolize the loss of individuality because we're throwing ourselves fully into this singular thing that has been gathered. It evokes metaphors of flows, of entering into streams already in motion, joining a journey without a destination, only the cycle of precipitation that goes on forever. And I suspect that one reason this service is not entirely universal is that it's uncomfortable. We don't want to dissolve ourselves into larger wholes. Not really. We love our individuality. We love our distinctiveness. And so the flower communion, I think, is the necessary counterpoint, the thing that acknowledges our individuality even as we gather into a single whole. The flower communion acknowledges that we will separate again. Perhaps not into the precisely same individuals we were before. Perhaps we have been changed or transformed. That's why we take a different flower when we leave, to remember that we are not the same as we were when we came. But we do, nevertheless, separate from the whole and return to our individuality. I don't know if the flower communion is more widely celebrated than the water communion. UUs are not really good at filling out surveys about this kind of thing. But I think we're more comfortable with it. The symbolism of it feels more safe and secure. We can retain that sense of individuality. And it also has a different pedigree. The flower communion comes from the same time period as our chalice and was given to us by a European male minister. The water communion was developed in the 1980s by women, many of whom were lay leaders, and it demands more from us. The thing about drawing our own meaning and building our own narratives is that we can hold two contradictory things at the same time. Both of these communions are profoundly true at their deepest levels. To build community, we have to be willing to let down our barriers, to fling ourselves fully into the flow and offer all that we have, because all that we are is necessary to the fullness of the work. And at the same time, we never stop being distinct individuals who will, in time, leave this community. Even if we were to live and die within a single congregation, we will still come and go throughout the weeks and years. There will be times in our lives when we're all in and fully immersed, and times in our lives when we are not. These two truths are simultaneously valid, and they can't be separated from one another. We are individuals with distinctive worth and dignity, and separate personalities, destinies, and dreams. And we are one community with singular purpose and destiny, moving on a single arc, both and. Our calendar, a Unitarian Universalist calendar, isn't designed to build our relationship with the divine beyond ourselves. Instead, it shapes our relationship within a particular community, binding us as one people and affirming our unique individuality, both at the same time. I have heard both of these celebrations be dismissed by some folks in the tradition, particularly those who want a rigorous intellectual service and aren't interested in ritual and experiences. And both services can be used in ways that don't build our religious story. It's easy to focus and be distracted by who's brought the fanciest flowers, who's brought water from the most interesting faraway places. It's also easy to go through the motions and overlook the symbolism driving them. It's easy to focus on the external details. I've tinkered with trying to make more complicated narratives of our calendar over the years, but in general, I'm defeated by all the layers. All of those layers are important to someone, and none of them are important to everyone in our communities. We are a community of communities. There are people who are devoted to the Christian calendar or the pagan calendar or no calendar at all, and they don't neatly map anyway, these calendars, one on top of the other. But these two anchor points are solely Unitarian Universalist. They don't derive from any other tradition but this one. And they are sufficient umbrellas to hold the overarching story and leaving room for all those other stories to fit in underneath. Our individual Sunday services feel like they often work the same way. We gather and become one, but we will leave as fully ourselves, perhaps, if we are lucky, transformed. Whatever else happens in between on that day will vary based on need, timing, but the larger rhythm of gathering to be community and returning to our lives, that remains the same. Thinking about the worship services this way may change it for you. If the gathering and going are the container, that gives specific types of meaning to what happens inside. What's inside is meant to be transformative, to change us. It's meant to make us one whole, but then send us back out into the world with more capacity for beauty, for love, and care. And in that sense, every bit of all of our mini calendars could fit somewhere in that middle. Anything contained in those calendars could be the thing that roots us in community or seasons, could be the thing that points us toward liberation or revelation. Accompanying great teachers on their journeys, all of these things are part of our journey together. As we enter the next church year, Gloria and I are tinkering with the order of service. I know that's unnerving for a lot of people. It's gonna be okay. Because I want our children to have the opportunity to participate in our joys and sorrows. I think it's important that when we gather, all of us have a transformative moment before we send them into their mini communities in their classrooms. Participating in our primary weekly spiritual practice is too important to leave them out. As we all get ready for our ingathering next week, as always, think about what you bring with you into this community. Think about what you might hold back. Perhaps some part of you feels like it doesn't belong here. Maybe it feels like it's too much or not enough. Try bringing it with you and allowing yourself to fully enter the flow of community and the church year. Trust that there will be moments to pull back again, fully yourself, changed only in ways that you have chosen. Trust that you will be able to be transformed without losing what is distinctive and individual. Trust that both things can and will be true, that we can be all in and remain fully ourselves. Blessings for this year ahead, for you and for me and for all of us, gathered as one community. Blessed be, and amen. Our offering this week is sharing the plate with Interfaith Caring Ministries. And did I remember to prepare any information about that? No, I did not. So if Janet or Jeff or someone would like to come talk about it, that's better than me winging it. I'm just going to stand here until some. Thank you, Josh. I know, right?
Good morning. I'm Jeff Boxall. I'm the Service and Justice Ministry lead here at Bay Area. And we have been supporting Interfaith Caring Ministries since I got here some 25 years ago. This is one of the longest running organizations here in the area providing services for the community. And one of the services that I personally participate in is their Food for Seniors program, where we deliver groceries to homebound seniors once a month. And I say we're often their only visitor. So for a couple of my clients that I've been with for 5 years, I'm their only visitor that they see that month. And so it's more than just delivering groceries, it's engaging with the community. And the food pantry that Interfaith Caring Ministries stands up, tied to Galveston Food Bank, it distributes food to members of the community in other ways as well, not just seniors. They have a food bank and you can go there, and if you qualify, you'll get your necessary needs. And so I encourage all of you to contribute what you can, and I think we've got a current drive going on, and I'm going to let Janet talk about that.
I'm not going to address the drive, but the box is back there. The one thing that Interfaith Caring Ministries is experiencing, as many nonprofit charitable organizations are experiencing, is a cut in their funding. The Houston Food Bank, they're having to cut back on what they give to ICM. So ICM is primarily, not totally, but we're having to very much subsidize the food that's being provided at the food pantry through the donations that we receive. So we have got a myriad of outreach type grants that we're trying to apply for, but everybody's trying to apply for them. So it's really tight right now in terms of financial support for the food bank and for other programs that they provide. One of the biggest things that ICM does, and I don't mean to, I hadn't prepared anything, but I think this is important. ICM, their whole purpose, not their whole purpose, of course, food, but their mission is to provide emergency support for individuals who cannot pay their rent or they cannot pay their utility bills. So they have to, of course, supply the information that we need to be able to benefit from the program. But we support these individuals. Sometimes it's $800 for one time for their rent or for, for their utilities. So, and all this stuff comes from our donations. So I was surprised. I'm glad it's this month. But really keep in mind that part of our programs and some of our support has been slashed. So anything you can give is greatly appreciated. And if you're not prepared today, go online with Interfaith Caring Ministries in League City. There's a page for donations. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm supposed to look at these things a little bit more in advance, and then sometimes I look at the calendar and I think, oh my gosh, it's the end of the month. It's totally time. We haven't shared the plate. So that's my fault, but the Spirit moved. So sharing the plate means that as we pass the plate today, half of what we give will go directly to the organization. So half is for us, half is for them. Give as generously as you are able, and as Janet said, if you're not prepared to give today, you can always go to the Interfaith Caring Ministry website and give them money directly, which I probably shouldn't tell you. I should probably tell you to give money to us too. But give money where you feel it will do the most good. Thank you.
Will you please join me now in blessing our offering? This gift from the abundance of my life blesses me, our ministries, and the world. Thank you. Here we have a few announcements today. The Wednesday night dinners are coming back. Hooray. September the 3rd at 5:45 p.m. These meals are all about good food and good company, with options for kids, omnivores, vegetarians, and vegans. Bring your family, invite your friends, and enjoy a warm and welcoming meal together. To make these dinners possible, we rely on volunteers. So if you'd like to cook a meal or simply lend a hand with preparation, serving, or cleanup on any Wednesday night, just scan the QR code on the screen to sign up. Katie mentioned earlier about pagan paths. Are you curious about a pagan path? Bay Area Covenant of Unitarian Universalist Pagans, or CUPS, meets on the first and third Thursdays at 6 p.m. in the sanctuary. The next gathering is Thursday, September the 4th. Whether you identify as pagan or simply curious about goddess spirituality, witchcraft, or modern pagan practice, you're welcome. Come celebrate the turning of the seasons with us. Our new UU class begins next Saturday, September the 6th at 1 p.m. in the church library. This is a 4-week class. It's a great way to learn more about Unitarian Universalist principles, our identity and history, and the many opportunities here at the church for learning, service, and connection. All are welcome. You can sign up using the QR code in your order of service or on the screen. I'm really excited to announce that Heather Hibbets and I, is Heather here? No, okay. We'll be facilitating a new chalice circle or small group here at the church beginning Monday, September the 8th at 7 p.m. We plan to meet twice a month on the second and fourth Mondays for 6 sessions. The purpose of our chalice circle is to create a safe space for sharing those thoughts, maybe concerns or doubts about subjects that are not usually talked about in casual conversation. Things such as faith, forgiveness, doubt, regret, hope, love, friendship. The goal is to deepen our connection with each other and to grow spiritually. So everyone is welcome to join this group, whether you're a member of the church or not. You can use the QR code to sign up. There will also be a link on the Tuesday email where you can sign up. And I'll be here after the service today if you want to talk to me more about it, either ask questions or if you want to sign up now. Okay. Then there's another opportunity for another small group with Alok Kalia. He will start a group on Sunday, September the 14th. There's Alok. Alok, why don't you stand up and let everybody see you? Okay. There you go, thank you. Dr. Alok Kalia, a retired UTMB professor and longtime BAUUC member, will lead a 6-week course on mindfulness. These Sunday sessions will explore the science of stress and teach practical ways to lower it, along with mindful listening, eating, and meditation practices. The group will meet from 4:30 to 6 o'clock p.m. You may see it written down that it'll end at 5:30. I think it's in the order of service at 5:30 and in the newsletter that it ends at 5:30, but it'll be a 90-minute session on September 14th, the 21st, 28th, and October the 12th, 19th, and 26th. All of that information is in the newsletter too. The next Sunday is our annual water communion ingathering service. In this Unitarian Universalist tradition, we each bring water from a place special to us, whether from travels, your backyard, or even your kitchen tap. As we pour our waters together, we celebrate the many paths that have brought us here and the community that we now share. And don't worry if you forget to bring water, there will be plenty of water for you to use. After the service next Sunday, stay for our welcome back potluck. The hospitality team will provide pulled pork and a vegan pulled pork option, and everyone is invited to bring a dish to share. Potlucks are one of the best ways to catch up with old friends and to meet new ones, so we hope you'll join us. You can use the QR code on the screen to let us know what you're bringing. Now, are you new to BAUUC and want to stay in the loop? Sign up for our weekly email by scanning the QR code on the screen. It's the best way to keep up with everything happening here at church. And then finally, right after today's service, our religious education team invites you to Sunday Sunday. Come enjoy ice cream with all the fixings, or coffee and light snacks if that's more your style. It's a sweet way to connect with friends, old and new. Okay, thank you. Okay, our closing song is number 163, For the Earth Forever Turning. Please stand in body or spirit as you're willing and able.
Whatever you have found here today, may you take it out into the world. As we are transformed, we go forth to transform the world around us. If you have found peace, joy, connection, and community, may it empower you and energize you in the weeks to come. Blessed be, go in peace, and amen.